Welcome to the ultimate backstage pass, the pulsating heart of the high school sports universe. Get ready to rock with the gang from the Corner to Corner podcast as they take their sports obsessions to new heights. Meet the dream team, Sean Kiper, Adam Muncy, Wes Crouch, and Daron Stevens, as they unpack the secrets, emotions, and triumphs that light up our local sports heroes. Whether you're gearing up for a game or unleashing cheers from the stands, get ready for an exclusive scoop that'll knock your socks off. It's showtime.
Welcome everybody to the From Corner to Corner Coaches Corner, brought to you by Community Trust Bank, episode 403. And tonight, as I mentioned, we are having a special episode with a group of the guys from the Mount Sterling Trojans. They played on the 69 team, and before that, and we just wanted to get them on as much as we could in lieu of the Rec Bowl, where I know that everybody has seen online where they are wearing the throwback Trojan uniforms. So I sent a message out to Mr. Jack Carrington, and he took care of the rest. And we've got a group of them here. We've got Mr. Jack Carrington, Ed Miller, Tom Orm, Perry Colliver, Gary Orm, Frank Green, Rusty Duff, and the last living coach with us, Dave Griffin, tonight. So we really appreciate all of them coming. There's not really, I guess we're gonna do a KOL commissary rewind tomorrow night, because we'll be back tomorrow night also. But we wanted to get them on as soon as possible to kind of get the word out, let everybody out there in Facebook, YouTube, Twitter land to see the team and build up some excitement about the Rec Bowl. So other than that, I will say I've got a co-host here tonight. I asked Jeff Weiss to come tonight, and he did the song "Small Town America."
Yes.
Did a documentary that goes along with that, and it all encompasses Mount Sterling Trojans, and I couldn't imagine doing this. Sean is on vacation, of course. He misses one of the biggest shows ever because he's on vacation. But I asked a big-time fan and a historian of the Trojans.
Trojan wannabe. Yeah. Yeah.
To be here tonight.
I appreciate it, but that's what I was telling him. I'm just like a kid in the candy store. I'm 5 years old all over again, when you get to sit in a room with your heroes, and it's not like I'm making that up. Everybody that knows me knows who my heroes are, and it was the Mount Sterling Trojans.
So that's kind of our introduction. I tell you what, let's go to our quick introduction, our introductory commercial break, and when we come back, we will talk to the guys of the Mount Sterling Trojans 69 team.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to have the driveway shoveled, his part of the big lunch meeting, and the birthday gift for the niece that was due yesterday. That means Anthony made it on time to watch the big game and see the home team score the winning shot. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
At Keystone Financial Group, we focus on what's important, you. As an independent firm, we have access to a wide range of financial services and objective research to help ensure your wealth is proactively managed. Call Joel Godby or John Morton today at Keystone Financial Group, 859-432-1084 for your local retirement and investment advice.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Keystone Financial Group, a registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Last time I saw him was in Nebraska.
Welcome back.
I was out there quail Him and Ty get the
So like I said, we've got the 69 team here. I'll go to Jack real quick. Jack, I appreciate, I sent a text out to you. I said, hey, can we get something together, pick the date out, and, I really appreciate you putting out the word and getting a few of the guys here, and I appreciate you doing that, and I know that just by the pre-show that we've had, it's something that you all do. It seems like as often as possible, but you all haven't lost any connection at all as soon as everybody was together.
That's right. We had about 40 players on that team, and we stay in touch by thread on Facebook, and just try to stay in touch when something happens, somebody gets married, or again, we try to keep everybody informed, and that's what we do.
Yep. So I guess, like I said, we wanted to get everybody on as many of it as possible, because the Montgomery County Coach Carrico has really done a good job about wanting to get the history back in Montgomery County football. And the very first thing he could think of was saluting the Trojans. And so, like I said, they've got a special uniform that people have seen on Facebook. And what's it mean for you all to, to have that continuous memory being put out there for a current coach, and just keep everybody abreast of what happened back in 69, and even the 68, 67 teams were really, really good. So what's it mean to you all to keep this memory alive? Anybody?
For me, it's it was a lifetime thing. Us guys can remember plays that happened right on the field 50 some years later, and we can recall things happening during the game, and we can recall things that Chili said to us, and they're things that you just can't forget. They become part of your makeup, and that you don't forget them. For me.
What about you, Coach?
Well, it was a blessing for me to be able to work with these talented athletes. We had a fine offensive team, had people that could carry the ball and throw the ball. We just had a really good offense, but on the other hand, we had a good defensive squad too. We had a lot of guys that just played defense, and they gave as much as anybody on the team. I like to think that if you didn't even get in a game, you're part of this squad too, because through the week you gave blood, sweat, and tears practicing with the team that was going to play on Friday night. I just think it was a blessing for me to be able to work with these outstanding athletes, and especially to work with Chili Ishmael. Chili was a unique individual. I think that he treated us all the same, and I'm thankful that I got to work with Chili Ishmael.
Were you the good cop to to Chili being the bad cop, or how did that work?
Good cop in that crew. I don't know. I think you probably have to ask these guys.
Chili didn't allow any bad stuff to go on.
No,
okay.
he did not. That's true.
Just
And I found that out tonight.
what was happening out on the field, he would not let you
Get by.
disgrace
Okay.
the town.
Gotcha.
So that's what I found out tonight when I was talking to Eddie over here, that I said, I had him in high school in Montgomery County. I said, I'd never known him to raise his voice. And he said, oh, he could get mad.
He did raise his voice. Yeah. Especially when he was out on the field talking to either Perry or me or one of the other players.
But like,
definitely knew something.
but like you said, he never used any foul language.
Yeah.
No.
No, I never heard him say anything.
Very first words of Chili Ishmael to me, because I left Montgomery County, came to Mount Sterling. We're all sitting down there in the football field, and he says, "Duff, are you gonna act like you got any sense?" And I said, "Yes, sir," but I had no intention to change it.
He said that to everybody.
You know, we hear a lot of, you know, we have a lot of coaches on, a lot of players that they have during high school, especially when they are seniors, they get on the show a lot of the times. And, you know, a lot of times we ask them, you know, what's coach meant to you and stuff like that. What did Coach Griffin and Coach Ishmael mean to you all back then? And, you know, is it something that you all have carried on throughout the rest of your life? Because we've heard that also with some of our athletes that we've had that's graduated, come back on the show, whatnot. I mean, but did they bring just some life lessons to you all?
As a former player, which I didn't play as much as some of the other guys did, we had a lot of respect for them.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of respect on the team. Even amongst us players, we were a close-knit bunch,
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed that way. And there are still several of us that live here in this county, and we just make it a habit, a thing to, some of us get together once a month and we do our thing, go out to eat and have a good time doing that. But there was a lot of respect.
Yeah.
A lot of respect.
My favorite coach was, he didn't coach our last year, was Coach Dombrowskis. You know, he stayed on me. He said, you know, look like you're picking defense out there. But, you know, you let two men block you. Well, you know, psychologically, you know, he had me thinking that two guys were not supposed to block me. You know, he was my favorite coach.
You never went out on the field with these guys thinking there was a chance of getting beat. We got beat, but you didn't think you were ever going to get beat. Now, I'd left the school and never won a football game my sophomore year. And you talk about a big change when you go into, we're going to play Parquet, we're going to play Paris. You know, didn't beat the crap out of Paris that year. Then they beat us the next year. But
For a small team like we were, Class A, as I say, we still had that tradition and respect from other teams and other schools, and we went to Henry Clay one night and beat them 8-0. You know,
And back then, there were only 3 classes. You had
Right, yeah.
Class A,
AA and AAA.
And then 3A was the Louisville school. So the year we won it all, I think there were 77 teams in Class A.
Gotcha.
And they didn't do it back then like they do now. You had 8 districts and 1 team came out of the district.
And you don't go to Henry Clay and
So-
beat them on their home field.
and homecoming game too.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. What I should have, when I took your names down, I should have done this. So what position did you all play? We'll just start with Perry and work our way down.
I played offensive tackle and defensive end.
Okay.
Defensive end was my favorite position to play. I sort of liked hitting people.
Put the hurt on people.
Still does it.
And in the state championship game, he called a tackle eligible for a touchdown.
Been a quick thinker on that too. Defensive back run up, tackled me, and he jumped up, told the referee, says, he can't catch that, he's a tackle. Of course, quick thinker I was, I said, did you ever hear of tackle eligible? Of course, the referee went, touchdown, so.
I played guard and linebacker, guard next to Perry there. Learned real quick. I didn't really know who to block. Perry would walk up and say, you get him, point him, and I'll get him. And like that, and I learned about 3 or 4 games later, I just go offline, Perry, get them both.
I was quarterback and defensive back, and Perry and I used to pick on the blockers for the punts. So we got to block a bunch of punts. That was our biggest claim to fame. Wasn't it?
I don't know where I walked
Well,
in.
no, you took them out of the way. I walked it with me.
I think Eddie blocked 5 punts that year.
In 1 year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, 1 year.
I was
After playing quarterback
Right.
the whole game, he
Right.
played defense, and then he blocks 4 or 5 punts that same year.
I didn't play a whole lot on offense, but I played more on defense than I did offense, and I played the outside or inside linebacker. I played those positions. But, I didn't play a lot, but I still say this today.
Very
I'm so
nice game,
appreciative to be a
maybe.
member of that team.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, from this day on.
I get your feeling. I mean, I played our soccer team I played on in '95. When I graduated in '95, our soccer team in '94 made it to the state championship game.
Yeah.
I didn't play very much. I was a senior, but it didn't matter. And I was part of that team during that.
Running back and linebacker and corner.
Okay.
I played offensive guard, and defensive nose guard.
I was a quarterback behind Mr. Eddie Miller, and I played some defensive back and some special teams. Eddie was a super
Well,
quarterback.
it sounds like if you was behind him, you was way behind him, because he
I was
playing
way
everywhere.
behind. But he's one of those people that won't tell you. He'll never say that he was a good quarterback, but he was pretty tough. He's pretty sharp.
Now, and
And a
Sam
defensive player, when you block 4 or 5 punts from a defensive position, that's pretty daggone good.
Right.
now Sam was on the team too, right?
Sam was on the 67.
67.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
67 team.
And he was,
But you're all brothers, that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
he
thought.
played college ball at Georgetown too. Sam did, yeah.
So take us through the '69 season a little bit. I mean, you all played. How many games did you all play regular
Hey,
season?
we started off with the recreation ball.
We played 10 regular season games.
Okay.
And then we played the CKC championship game against Woodford County.
Okay.
And then we played 3 playoff games. So a total of 14.
Gotcha.
I think we were 11.
11,
2 and 1.
11, 2 and 1.
But we started out the recreation ball, playing 3s, doing 2 weeks of summer practice and stuff, to get ready for Tompkinsville. And we thought we were really tough, because at that time, the recreation ball only invited 4 top teams.
Right. Yes, they did.
We struggled about the first 3 or 4 games.
Yes, we
We
did.
really struggled, and then it sort of
Tompkinsville
just come
beat us
all
like a
together
drum.
for some reason or another.
Well, beat us
I think we
19
got
to
Charlie
12.
Bill running through the right hole.
And we made some line changes too.
Yeah.
And I think we really started clicking over at Jessamine County. Chili took us in the bus at halftime, and he
That's
gave
what
it
we got
to
our
us.
chewing out at.
They were playing a 4-4 defense. That's where Rusty was coming in, and we'd go up to the lines, and then, Rusty, you get the down guy, and I'll get the down guy behind him. Of course, Jack was a blocking back. He'd come through the hole. He'd get the outside linebacker, and Chart Bill, he gained 8 or 9 yards every time. So, Chili was really the mastermind, knew what kind of play to run.
Well, I was going to ask Coach. I mean, they talk about losing the rec bowl. After the game, being on the coaching staff was kind of like, it's.
When we came into the coach's dressing room after the game, Chili said, "Boys, we may not win another game." He was not being serious, but he was down, because- But that Rec Bowl game was a tough one. Maybe it did us good in the long run to get us fired up for the rest of the season.
Sometimes they say that. Sometimes they say you need to lose one game, and sometimes during the season to kind of make you better. But the first game out, it's kind of like, wait a minute.
Also, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was about 95.
Oh, okay.
It was cracking.
And they had Bush Hog.
Yeah.
From Tompkinsville. Played Western.
2 of them.
Wait,
Two of them.
One of them played at UK, one of them played at
They
West.
kicked our rear. They were good.
Had a fullback named Hamilton, or halfback was
Halfback.
halfback. He was really
Wasn't there Leroy Tooley, was that?
Dooley was his name.
I didn't play much defense, but Chili had me in there for a couple of plays. And this running back was about 5'8", weighed about 225, and I weighed about 150 pounds. And he's coming on the outside, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna get him. I've got him nailed, and I'm gonna drill him. Well, I hit that boy on the outside, and when I got up again, my strap was up here on my heel. Lord, I made a mistake.
And I don't know if you all remember this or not, or maybe I'm thinking the wrong game, but remember him getting Gatorade?
Yeah.
The first time?
Yeah.
First time we never saw Gatorade the whole year after that game.
So you got Gatorade.
Gatorade came out in about 67 or something, didn't it?
Okay.
They had bought us a little tank on wheels, and they had 4 little bitty squirters on the outside, and Charlie Lindsay would run out and give us a drink of Gatorade. We lost that game rec ball. Never saw it again.
No more Gatorade. Just
Don't you know where that is? Where'd that Gatorade go to?
After that game, I never saw that container again.
We went back to sending Charlie Lindsay to the dressing room. We get a towel. He'd soak a towel. We'd suck on a towel. That was our drink. Charlie, go get me a towel. That's what we got.
My wife would not believe that.
Yeah.
I told her several times, we'd pick a wet towel off the ground and suck on it.
That's right.
That's the only
That's old school.
water dish.
Yeah, that was.
And be glad you had it.
That's right.
I did it.
I know. I never got out of the game long enough to get it.
So you said you kind of saw a switch around Jessamine County, which was how many games into the schedule?
Probably 3 or 4, right?
About 4.
And then we rolled pretty good until Danville came to town, and they were a good Class 2A. And we tied them.
Leonard Coulter.
Yeah,
Leonard Coulter played for Morehead State in basketball. Leonard Coulter. Oh. Then he became a minister and he passed away.
And then, we were playing pretty good at the time. And didn't have too many injuries, really, did we?
No.
Injury free most of the time.
That for a single A school, 40 players on the football team. I mean no injuries, being healthy, for the most part during the year. That means it's big time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Frank kind of broke his leg, but he still ran wind sprints.
Wasn't that year.
It wasn't that year? Okay.
He broke his leg.
Yeah, and Gary Blake, did he break his arm?
Broke his arm, yeah.
Yeah. So that was only 2.
Later on in the year, we were really rolling good, like Jack said, and when we beat Paris, Kentucky,
Beat the crap.
60
nothing or something like that. And Chili got us, and Coach got us in the dressing room, and we were all in there cheering and acting crazy. He said, "You got to remember, you'll never beat another team like that the rest of your life." So next week was Nicholas County, and I think we scored 72 points. Charlie Gill scored 4 or 5 touchdowns.
I think one thing I want to say is, and I told this to Chirico, is, I've been fortunate enough to meet them here and there and everything else. And the unique part about meeting a Trojan is everyone has a different story. And I've got letters in the mail and stuff like that, and that's just the best thing, because you can go down through here and you can see how everybody's memory's fresh and everything, and you can get a different story all the way down the line. And I think it's really neat.
As the season wound up, towards the end of the season, we got into the playoffs, and I'll tell you a little quick story about Mount playing Lynch. And those of us who didn't play very much during that game, we about froze to death. And they had 2 big old barrels down there, and somebody would supply us with wood and put wood in that barrel to keep us warm. And during that whole game, I had the awfulest toothache. I couldn't do nothing. I was just waiting to get back to the hotel room, because they put us up in the hotel. Then we come back to Mount Sterling the next day, but that was a cold game,
And one of those games where we were real far ahead, Jack was talking about, Chili said, "Griffin, go down there in the end zone and give us 11 fresh sophomores and junior or 2, and put us a little team together, and I'll let you put them in, and I mean, you can play. So I went down there and picked out a few guys. Came back up to the side behind Chili. I said, Coach, I think I got a team ready. He said, well, put them in. He called timeout and put them in. And we started from play one, marching the ball right down the field. And I turned around to Chili. I said, Coach, we're going to score. He said, well, yeah, we're going to score. He said, you just play like you were the varsity. And we scored twice on the varsity team that we were playing. And finally, he said that they did really good. You take them down there and praise them, and I'm going to put the varsity back in.
You know, every player on that team had a position to play, and everybody played their position. So, you know, one game it might have been Frank or Jim Malone. You know, I remember playing Lynch, had a tackle named Reggie Stevens. That Jim said the first time I met him, he flipped me on my. He says, but after that, everywhere they would switch him from one side to the other, and they always put Jim on whatever side he was on. So, I mean, every player on the team at some point in the season would make a play.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
No, now Lynch was one of the big rivals, right?
Yeah, they was always big rivals.
Yeah, that's what I always heard. That's what Dan told me.
Well, they were sort of the powerhouse of the Class A at that time.
Yep.
Okay, you say Lynch. Where?
Lynch is way down in the boonies. You've never been there. You don't want to go.
Harlan County. Cumberland, down in that area.
It's just about.
It's Harlan County,
Yeah.
and they were multiple state champions.
Okay.
I have business down there, and I go in there, and they have a place they call the Bulldog Room. And it's smaller than this room here.
Uh-huh.
And you walk in it, and there's trophies everywhere. And then you get this, you know, chill in your arms, thinking, we beat them. And we beat them here. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
We were lucky, but then we were also listening to the coaches.
Yeah.
When Chili says we're going to win, we go out and win.
Yeah, you believe.
We believed. We never doubted it. Except one time, I have to tell the story. We were playing Henry Clay at Henry Clay, and we were on like the 20-yard line or something. It was 3rd down and 7. And no one was guarding George Calico, who was a great receiver. Mm-hmm. And I had the great wisdom to call an audible. And I ran it before Chili could stop me. And I could see him over there taking his coat off before he even got the play off. But I ran an audible, and thankfully we had a gifted receiver, George Calico. I threw it behind him. He caught it, went and made a first down, saved my rear end. And Chili, of course, in true fashion, calls timeout. He's ripping off his coat, his blazer, and he throws it down on the ground and stomps on it. And he goes, "Come here, Ed." I go over there, and he grabs me by the shoulder, and he said, "The next time you want to call an audible," he said, "you throw it over to me." And I listened, but we lucked out.
I know when we went to Lynch to play that night, it was a long bus ride down there.
Yeah.
But it was a much nicer bus ride coming back, Monday game.
I think Chili was probably noted for his halftime coaching.
Okay.
He could take a team that was far ahead and know what to say at halftime, or if you were behind, he could tell you exactly what things we needed to do to come back. I thought he was a great halftime coach.
Do y'all remember the score to the Lynch game?
16-14.
Thought you
Wasn't
might.
Jack? 16-14.
What's that?
Lynch scored the Lynch game.
Pull back in the flats.
It was back in the.
That's what scored the winning touchdown, remember that?
Yeah.
Pull back in the flats.
Yeah.
And then we ran quick pitch to 2-point conversion.
It was, we call it the Henry Clay Special. We just put that in.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, everybody talks about, I'm not bragging about me being a hero. Doug Cunningham is a hero because if he don't catch that pass, we don't make it to the state finals. You know?
That's true.
So you gotta give Doug Cunningham a lot of credit.
Yes.
And Eddie, of
That's
course.
good. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And Chili had a little help on the sidelines from his brother,
Okay.
And
Dutch. Yeah. He's a smart coach.
Well, Dutch was head coach at Anderson County
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Was that Lawrenceburg or Lawrenceburg? Yeah.
I think he told Chili after that first game, you're gonna have a tough year, coach.
We
He was up on the press box.
we scrimmaged Dutch's team in Lawrenceburg, in Anderson County.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah.
And we didn't keep points, we just scored. If you scored, you got 1 point. If you scored, you got 1, 2, 3. And after we finished, Chili wasn't satisfied with us, so we had to practice on Dutch's field before we got back on the bus.
Yeah.
So it was, there was no foolishness. We had a good time. It's the best time I ever had in my life, probably. But we didn't put up with any foolishness, and everybody did their job like Perry said. Everybody was all business when they went on the field.
I'll never forget that last game. We were back in the dressing room after the game was over, and Charlie Bill Owens went over to a water fountain to get him a drink, and he slipped, and his foot went under the water fountain and cut a big gash in his foot. And Chili came running up to me. He said, here's the driver ed, car, keys. Take him to the hospital. Do everything as fast as you can, and I'm going to be as slow as I can getting home because I want him to be on that fire truck.
Yeah.
Well, you know Charlie Bill scored 154 points that year.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of,
Number one in the state?
I don't know.
He
but-
went
Number
home
two.
one time.
Yeah, I think it was number 2, I believe.
In that car, Charlie Bill kept saying, "Go on, Coach, go on. Let's go, Coach, let's go."
I'll tell you what, let's take a break here real quick, and we'll come back and reminisce a little bit more with the 69 Trojans. Accidents happen, but getting your vehicle back looking like new doesn't have to be stressful. Jacobs Auto Body specializes in high-quality repairs and attention to detail and customer care that you can trust. From start to finish, they've got you covered. Jacobs Auto Body. We'll be right back.
When you can't fit the car in the garage anymore, or the guest bedroom is overrun with junk, it's time for a Rumpke open-top dumpster. Rumpke offers open-top dumpsters in a variety of sizes and are often delivered the next day. You fill the container with unwanted material on your schedule, and Rumpke takes care of the rest. Don't wait to reclaim your space. Contact the waste and recycling experts at Rumpke today. Rumpke, waste and recycling, done right.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, proud sponsor of our Menifee Athlete of the Month and scholarship programs.
At Keystone Financial Group, we focus on what's important, you. As an independent firm, we have access to a wide range of financial services and objective research to help ensure your wealth is proactively managed. Call Joel Godby or John Morton today at Keystone Financial Group, 859-432-1084 for your local retirement and investment advice.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Keystone Financial Group, a registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
is here. Are you sure your roof is ready for the rain? Winter weather can leave behind hidden damage like loose shingles, cracked flashing, and clogged gutters, all of which can lead to costly leaks. At CRC Roofing and Renovations, we provide expert spring roof maintenance, leak prevention, and repairs to keep your home safe and dry. Don't wait until water damage ruins your home. Call CRC Roofing and Renovations today at 859-327-3913 or visit our website to schedule your free spring roof inspection. Protect your home with Central Kentucky's trusted roofing experts.
I still can't believe she's gone. I don't know how we're going to plan all of this.
I know. I felt the same way when your granddad passed. The Kaufman Funeral Home really helped us get through it.
Were they compassionate?
More than that, they took care of us. They made us feel like family. They handled the entire situation from beginning to end.
At Kaufman Funeral Home and Crematorium in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, we're honored to walk beside your family with dignity and compassion every step of the way.
That's exactly what we need right now.
Kaufman Funeral Home, where we believe every life is a beautiful story that deserves to be honored with love, dignity, and heartfelt celebration.
If you're driving by and see that light, stop on in, get your colors right. It's more than gear, it's your story design. At Incovid Designs, every thread's a sign.
Or scratch, no need to despair. Jacob's Auto Body, we're beyond compare. Custom paint so sleek, insurance on our side. 70 years of trust, we're your hometown pride. Jacob's Auto Body, we'll make it like new. 859-274-7425 is the clue. Jacob's Auto Body, run the show.
At Rumpke Waste and Recycling, family is at the heart of all we do. Our name is on every truck, every container, every facility. And we take pride in what our family name represents. Friendly, reliable service. Families trust us. Businesses trust us. Communities trust us. And you can too. Learn more about our family business and the important work we do at Rumpke.com. Rumpke, waste and recycling done right.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to have the driveway shoveled. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due yesterday. That means Anthony made it on time to watch the big game and see the home team score the winning shot. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Who told me to do the best I could do, and he's the only one I told him.
He's in bad disarray for a long time.
And we're back with the 69 Mile Sterling Trojans football team. Just reminiscing about championship year and even previous years and anything that they want to talk about. Listen, this is not an interview of me asking a bunch of questions. I'm just kind of giving them an olive branch and letting them just roll with it because they've got the memory of what happened back in the day, and it's been a pleasure so far. So, let's kind of talk about the playoffs. You all played 3 playoff games. Who did you start playing, and let's go through the playoffs a little bit.
Perry?
Who's your
Well,
first game? Who was your first
Dayton
game?
was the first game,
Dayton.
and, first half, I think it was 0-0 at halftime.
It was.
And we go in the second half and coach tells us what we're gonna do. And we go out and beat them 24-0 and think the second half, I think they was minus yardage. So that was, his coaching. And they were running a 4-4 defense, and it was one that Rusty get the down guy, I'd get the back guy, and running back would come through and block, and we'd picking up 7-8 yards every time.
Wasn't that the playoff game where we had to cancel the night before because of the snow, or we get a lot of snow on our
That might have
field?
been, that might have been.
We had to play on a Monday night.
Huh?
We played 2 Monday nights in a row.
Yeah, played in the
Monday
snow.
night against Dayton, Monday night before that against Woodford County.
Yeah. We played in Dayton there at Marshall High School.
So, did you all play at home each game, or did you all have to go
Dayton
back?
was home, and I went home, but
Dayton was home game. I always said that to work the playoffs in there, we had to play Woodford County, and I think us getting beat that game really helped bring our head back down to ground that we could be beat.
right.
I think it sort of grounded. We beat Woodford County. Well, winning that CKC conference was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
So getting beat by Woodford probably helped us.
Wasn't Woodford County a 2A school?
Yeah. They were in the playoffs too.
Yeah. Then you thought that time passed the first couple of plays?
Second play of the game, Charlie Bill.
Yeah, 60 yards or something.
Well, I thought I sent one to Jack.
That's
and
a
then the next
screen
one was
pass.
to Charlie Bill.
Yeah.
And then we didn't score again. Got beat, what, 20-6 or whatever.
28
They had,
or 6.
they had 2 wrestling champs that made sure I didn't
Make sure you didn't
spend much time in the backfield.
Arms and Weathers.
Yeah, Weathers, yeah.
And then we went up to Lynch. We left like at 8 o'clock in the morning. Went up there and ate somewhere, and then went to the field. And
They put us up in the hotel one night.
we won, and then we had a dinner afterward. And I think we went to Cumberland, Kentucky, stayed in the hotel.
It was
Might have been.
across the river.
Right across the river.
Harlan.
Yeah, we stayed in Harlan.
Harlan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The restaurant and the hotel was right there close together to each
Yeah.
other too.
Restaurant over there playing poker in the back.
So the Lynch game was the semifinals, basically.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
We pulled into the city of Harlan,
Yeah.
and they said, okay, you guys, you all can walk around, whatever. Every merchant in the Harlan area were yelling at us to come inside, have some free pizza, have some free ice cream. Just beat the damn Bulldogs. They were tired of seeing Lynch win everything.
What was the score of that game?
16-14.
beat them by 40. Yeah. In the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
Y'all scored the last minute, beat
Wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry played special.
Now, who was that running back, the big boy that ran for Lynch?
Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Mickey Roscoe.
Bottom?
Mickey Roscoe.
Mickey Roscoe.
Yeah.
And
He was
He ran over 3 or 4 of them.
he was a tight end. He was like 6'4" or 5", and
Yeah.
if they run him every play, he'd gain 4 or 5 yards. But they had a halfback by the name of Washington.
Yeah.
I think he may have played at Western, Eastern, I think, but he was the Charlie Bill of that team.
Yeah.
And then
Y'all played Barstown in the championship, right?
Yeah. Right.
In Louisville.
No.
No.
It was actually
Lexington. It was in
Louisville
Lexington.
in 67.
Yeah, Louisville. in
Playing on old stall field.
Stonefield,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where the Singletary Center for the Arts is now. They tore that down, tore it all down.
So y'all got to come home after that night?
Yeah, we came home at night.
So they still had championship game like they do now. I mean, it's centralized, somewhere in, playing on UK's, field, just like they do now. You all played there basically for the championship game.
Yeah.
And the second game was it Ashland against?
Town and Ernie.
Yeah, they played right after us.
Yeah.
Was it E-Town and Bryan Station, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was because Coach Griffin, he had to go on home, but Coach Griffin was talking to me early, and he said that he had coached under E-Town's coach, and then for the year before, I think, and then he had come here and coached for Chile, and he said it was funny. He's like, we won the state championship in the 1A, and his other coach won the 2A state championship. So he was kind of like, I've been under some pretty good wings here because I've had 2 state championship coaches on the same day.
And you know that the coach at E-Town coached now Sterling before he went to E-Town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know that?
Who was that? What was his name?
Phil Horn?
Coach Duke Owen.
Duke, yeah, okay.
Duke come from
Owen's brother,
Georgetown. Didn't Duke come from Georgetown?
I don't know. I don't know. He coached at Mount Sterling.
Yeah, but he came from Georgetown.
I think from there he went to E-Town.
Oh, gotcha.
So a little bit of history there.
That's Oney's brother.
Right, Oney's brother. Yeah.
Nothing but a football family.
Yeah.
Jeff, we need to do something to maybe try to recognize him because he's the only other living coach here in Montgomery County. Oney is.
Yeah, he was in the documentary. Now, I was in school and played with him.
Yeah.
And he, you know how easy going and everything he is. Let me tell you what, when he gets me, he caught me laying on the ping pong table in class one day, gym class, and
You talk about temper.
I walked straight.
But he was a good coach too. He's a good coach too.
He's little, but boy, he's mean.
I coached the Big McNabb for a couple of years. Before I did that, I was helping Owen with the 8th grade team. Oh my gosh, when he would go into halftime and those guys were sitting on the floor, a little half moon, they were behind, he'd get that chalk and he'd hit that board and draw pictures and draw signs and draw plays and scream and yell, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just watch this man because he is nothing but football. He was unbelievable.
Did he play in UK? Did you play in UK, Jack?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Not in UK.
He was small.
He's fired.
But he was.
You know, he
wild.
was coaching over at Paris. I know my senior year.
Duke
I'm not
was?
sure about junior year.
Oney was?
Yeah.
Only Owen was coaching.
Yes. Yes.
I know. I got a
Our
letter
senior
from
year for
Don
sure, because he
Harper.
scouted
Yeah,
us.
he told me that.
Jack, how bad
Duke
is the
sent
sauce?
Georgetown to coach at Mount Sterling.
Yeah. Go on.
When we're going.
So was the championship game kind of like, we talked to athletes, they go to like we went to the Sweet 16 a couple of years ago, and it's just a totally different atmosphere when you're playing in Rupp Arena or playing at Kroger Field or something like that. Was it the same way then? I mean, when you all stepped on Stall Field, was it like, okay, this is a little bit different atmosphere than playing?
I think there were 13 people left in Mount Sterling.
You wasn't playing on turf, I'll take it.
We walked on that field and we were intimidated.
Yeah.
It was Bermuda and Orange Field.
I never walked into the grass like that.
November 28th, and it was all turned brown.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, but it was nice.
Yeah, I walked on the field and you can get intimidated on that field real easy when you walk out there on that field.
Just the amount of fans that were there. I mean, it was, yeah. And I mean, Montgomery County Mount Sterling's been known for that. I mean, if you make it to a certain point, they're going to follow you, and it's been happening for years upon years.
Well, Mount Sterling, back at the time we won the championship, wasn't a big populated city. It's not that big now, but it's grown much better. But I said there wasn't very few people left in Mount Sterling that night.
Right.
Because they were all there in the stands.
I lived across the street from the
I know
field,
where.
and I can remember, and not the '69 team, but when they wasn't playing in Mount Sterling, it was like crickets. It was quiet. Of course, when they was, when they played at home, it was a different
crowd.
story. Everybody in town was there.
And we didn't have a big field. It wasn't a big stand, so it wasn't a whole lot of, 400 people, maybe 300.
A little corner for the bandstand over there.
Yeah.
This is a question to the players. Who could you count on to be the first one in the stands on every game? Come on.
Red Petro.
Got it.
Right.
He was there an hour before the game started.
He was a banker downtown.
Okay.
Banker downtown.
He was a loyal fan for sure.
Yeah.
I can tell you a quick story. I can tell you who the first one was on the field on Saturday mornings, because I had a hole in the fence back there behind where they did the announcing, and I had the board I'd set up, but they couldn't tell it was broken, and I would crawl through that hole and I would go find the programs, and then I'd always find a little football or something, and then I'd go back and I'd crawl back through my hole and I'd patch it back up. But it's good times.
You know, I think back on our times, if you'd go back and look at the players and teams before us, we were just holding up a tradition. Because, I mean, there were so many great players, great teams that played here at that time that, you know, it was an honor to be playing for them.
I tell you, that's real good. It doesn't apply to us, but I was at the football field for a recreation ball game when I was in 8th grade or something, and I think Owensboro was playing somebody, and a guy named Frank Chambers was picked as one of the Hall of Fame players to go on board. And when he ran by me, going in that old field house, a piece of mud flew off his shoe. I picked that mud up off his shoe and took it home. He kept it for, I don't know, a year or so until finally it didn't disintegrate. But it was, like somebody said a while ago, when we went on the field, it was all business.
Yeah.
And we were expected to win. And when we didn't win, it was tough. It was tough.
It wasn't very often.
No. We had some celebrities that played in the Rec Bowl. Paul Horning, years and years ago, played on the Rec Bowl. He played for Green Bay.
Sonny Collins played in it.
Yeah, Sonny Collins did. Yeah, got about him.
I think, Coach, I've talked to Jericho, just like Jeff said to you all earlier. Jericho, you know, he kind of gets it. He's trying to get that. He's trying to get that old time flavor back a little bit. I think that the Rec Bowl is going to eventually, whether it's next year or whether it's the year after that, is going to go back to 4 teams. You know, and try to get some of the top teams in the state to come to it, because you know it's the oldest Rec Bowl. It's the oldest bowl in Kentucky.
1948.
Right. This will be number 74?
79.
This is 79.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is his team, are they already practicing? I mean, yeah.
I know that when I went to meet with him, you know, I was in my head thinking, how am I going to sell this to him? You know, how am I going to tell him how much the Trojans mean to the town? I didn't have to sell that to him. He already knew, and he gets it. And a big shout out to him, because, you know, he's what the school needed and everything, and he really gets what it was about.
So, what sticks out in your all's mind, you know, from the time that you all play individually? I mean, do you all have a specific, you know, we can kind of go down the line here, but, you know, do you have a specific thing that just kind of sticks out in your mind that you always just, it comes to the front of your head, the first thing? It can be personally, it can be team-wise, but we'll start with Tom and roll down this way, but just something that, and I know there's many of them, many memories, but is there anything that just sticks out individually?
Yeah, for me, it was a loss. When I was quarterback in the next year after the championship team, we lost to Paris 8-0. And that game decided who would go to the playoffs. So we were out of the playoffs at game 6 because we got beat by Paris. So I was just devastated that we missed the playoffs because of that game. But the wins we were expected to make, and when the loss happened, it took it personal, you know. I didn't do my job.
All right. Well, one reason I think we played so hard and so well was because of Chili, his personality, and how we liked him. We wanted to play for him. Because I remember an early game in a year, and this is kind of comical. One of the players who didn't play much came out right before the game and painted his cleats white. And it really shone out in lights. And I eased on over where I could hear what was said. And Chili didn't cuss at him and all. He said, you get in there and you get them cleats painted, and, you know, and told him what to do. He didn't get real mean or anything. You know, I thought, boy, that Chili's a pretty good guy. And we were all willing to give her all for him because we liked him, we respected him. He wasn't mean, but he just did what he needed to do. So that's one of my memories.
Well, I always remember how that helmet smelled. But one of the best moments for me was when we beat Lynch, and my brother Grover, who played at Mount Sterling quarterback and on a really, really good team in '65, drove all the way from Wake Forest, North Carolina, to come see us play.
Well, you know, like you said, there were days on the field where we would have not a good day. The other days would be great days, but we kept that respect, not for just Chili, but for all the coaches. And I know when Chili passed away, I was at his funeral, and it was a very solemn funeral. A lot of former players were there too. A lot of former players were there, and this man here, when he leaves this world, he's going to be missed too, because he's the last of them. But always I think about that word respect.
Anything that stick out to you?
I remember all the families, brothers, the fathers that played before us. You know, my brother was Sam Miller,
Right.
And they lost in the finals, and that was very painful for him.
What year was that?
67.
67.
And they had a great team. They only had 3 seniors, and they had a lot of, I think Jack played on that team.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, he was just a sophomore.
Freshman.
So it was just tradition. And like I think it was Jack saying that you're just expected to win. Losing is not in your vocabulary anymore.
Okay, so I have to ask, because I've heard this from a couple of people. The '67 championship game, was there? I've heard numerous things about, you know, it rained, or was the field conditions?
That was
were-
68. That was
68. Okay.
No
Watered
doubt
down.
about it, they watered
Watered down.
Yeah. So you all played in the playoffs or in the championship game?
Playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
First game up in Dayton, and we had a lot more speed than they. They were bigger, and they watered the field down. If you look at the pictures that they took in the Advocate, it's just amazing. You couldn't tell numbers.
They call it the Mud Bowl.
Yeah.
So had it rained or it just the field was?
As we were going up, until he comes back on the bus, and he said, boys, be expecting a little bit of rain on the field. The national weather, whatever, had said that there was maybe the night before it rained a tenth of an inch or something. So here we were all dressed in our nice white playoff, our uniforms and purple and gold and white jerseys. And as we went on the field to do calisthenics, warm up, after warming up, we couldn't hardly tell each other from one to the other because everybody was covered in mud. And we would do little belly lunges, and we'd have to turn our head to the side so they wouldn't get them out of the water because they had taken fire trucks, we heard.
That's what I
Watered
heard.
the field down right for us, so there was 1.5 inches or 2 inches of water on the field. We got it. Mud bowl, it was wild.
That's
We
called-
would bring Mike Mandy to the sideline and wipe his helmet off with the towel, so we could tell who was, so we could tell who was who, because they were brown and they were dirty brown. Both teams were solid brown in the mud.
Within the first
Oh,
minutes of
within
the
first
game.
minutes of the game.
Crazy.
To a certain extent, that's called respect because they knew we're in trouble if we don't do something.
Yeah, we got beat.
So after all was said and done, we lost that game. We lost that game.
Barely lost it.
Perry, we'll go back to the question at hand. You know, what kind of sticks out in your mind about individual or team or anything?
Well, it's an individual. Personally, I feel like when we played the state championship game, you hear people being in the zone. I think I was so well focused that I can't remember anybody in the stands. I couldn't hear the cheerleaders. You know, it was probably the one game that I was probably more focused than any game I played.
Well, I guess I remember leaving Montgomery County and coming to the city school trophy. And how much more fun it was playing when you're winning. Not taking a beating every game.
And we're glad you did.
I've got a question, and I think I got a reason for asking this question. But when you came back from the championship game or any game, I remember the documentary when Chili was talking about how everybody would meet in the town square and ring the bell after a win or something like that. Did you all do that after the championship game when you came back?
When we were so overwhelmed when we come out of that bus in front of the courthouse there were so many people standing around there and hooping and hollering, and I
So the whole town showed up.
I remember very little that night, except getting off the bus.
You know, and that's one thing that I've talked about for this upcoming game. I'd like to, the bell's still there. There's a bell still downtown square, and I'd like to hear that bell ring one more time because I was little, I didn't get to hear it, and I don't want to do it for me, but I think we need to do it for the Trojans to ring that bell one last time,
Well, we need a win.
That's right, got to win.
We need a win.
Yeah,
First.
it's going to be a tough game, Hazard's a good football team.
Jeff, I want to thank you for putting this on because over the years you have done us well.
Well,
very well.
I'm not putting this one on exactly. I'd kind of planted a seed, but he already had something, in his mind. And what I did is I knew one of the football coaches, and I sent him 2 books of Tiny and the Trojans, and I said, read that intro and read that part about them taking Tiny to the 67 game and opening the ambulance doors.
Tall funeral took him
and
out.
I said, you read that and you'll get it. And really a quick story, I met up with Albert Thomas a couple of weeks ago, or not Albert Douglas, I'm sorry, and I hope he don't mind me telling this, but I was telling him about that, and I was saying I told Cherico, if you get to that part of the book and you read it, you'll kind of understand about everybody in the town, how they would show up, win or lose, they'd show up, and what they would do after a win. And I said, this is what they did for Tiny, because he was in bad health at the time. And he goes, yeah, I remember that well. He goes, I was driving the ambulance. And I mean, chills went up my arms, because he let me tell the story, and then he's like, yeah, I was there. I drove the ambulance. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff, people need to hear. And that's been the neatest thing for me is every one of you guys, everyone that I get to meet, everyone that I talk to on the phone, they all have a different story, but they're unique, but they're all really good stories. And I can't wait for you guys to meet the coach and everything, and I hope he's watching tonight, and a big thank you to him for doing this.
Yeah, I mean, them wearing the purple and gold again is going to be something else. I mean, I know you all will probably go and be able to, see them walk out in that white and purple, but still, regardless, you were just talking about, you were wearing white during the Mud Bowl,
Yeah,
so.
I was coming through town a couple weeks ago, and it was on Sunday afternoon, some man was out front of the courthouse with a player, and had a really nice camera, and the guy was posing for him there in the front lawn, and he had that white shirt on, which said Trojans across the top, and I thought, what is that? What's going on? So I had to drive around the little square one more time, and they were finishing, and I rolled the window. I said, I really like that jersey you got on. He said, yeah, we're going to be wearing these, I think, at the Red Bowl. I said, yeah, I said, I wore that a long time ago. And I don't even know who he was. He said, you were a member of the team. I said, yeah, I was a member of the team.
Well, I'm not going to say I'd never give up my source of how I found out about it. I've been doing Trojan apparel and stuff for several months leading up to this, and then I started kind of hearing some things, and then I got a text from somebody one night and asked me if there's something that might be going on, and I said, I'll call you back. So I said, I'll make one phone call. So I called somebody, and I'm not gonna say who that is. I said, you got something you need to tell me? He said, no, I ain't got nothing to tell you. I said, let me tell you something. I said, if anybody in this town needs to hear what you need to tell me, you need to tell me right now. And you could have heard a pin drop. He sat there for, seemed like 5 minutes, but it was a few seconds, and he goes, how in the world did you know that? I said, is it right? And he goes, yeah, it's happening. And I felt like I should have got like the first phone call, And he goes, how do you know that? And I said, I'll never tell you how I know. I said, but then of course the excitement started building with me, but I wasn't going to let it out, and not, pull it out from underneath coach's feet. But I was already planning ahead and trying to get, I was already starting to make phone calls, and I called the mayor and I'm like, look, I'm not supposed to tell anybody. I said, but I got to tell you because I want a big deal for it. I want them to feel when they come through this town, they're heroes, because that's what they are in my book.
So I was listening to you.
Don't cry. Don't get it. No. I did a little thing down. Gary was down at the Small Town America, and I'm gonna say it here. There wouldn't be a Small Town America song. There wouldn't have been the Small Town America documentary. There wouldn't have been anything that brought attention to that school that got it renovated. There never would have been the first retro game 20 years ago, and there sure wouldn't be no Small Town America Festival if it wasn't for one thing, and that's the Mount Sterling Trojans, because that is what triggered the thought for the song. When I first started talking about LA, and then I started talking about the Trojans, and immediately, and it's no different than right now, I go back to being 5 years old, 5, 6, 7 years old, and and it was just a vivid picture. And you was talking about smelling, you can still smell the helmets. Well, like I said, I'd get in that field, being a kid, I was nosy, and I'd get in that equipment room, and I could still smell, it didn't smell good, but I could still smell that equipment room. And why I never just grabbed one of them helmets and took it home, I'll never know,
Because you knew at that age you'd get in trouble.
Yeah,
You'd be like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
At the championship game, as all the fans are running out on the field, some young boy grabs my helmet and jerks my chin strap off. And I practically ran all over that field trying to get my chin strap back, and I never did get it back. And to this day, I don't know who he was, but he jerked it right off my helmet.
He's probably got that chin strap still hanging on.
Somewhere.
I was, when I met with Coach Chirico, and when I tell you guys that he gets it, he told me something that, you know how the field up here's got the turf field and they got the grass field to the side, and he goes, I want them lights on in that grass field, and I want kids over there playing during the football game. Mm-hmm. And man, that's what hit home, because when we was little, when my mom would let me go to the game, we would take, you remember the Coke cups, they was wax, and we would take 2 of them cups and we would shove them in each other and wad them up. But when you guys was going the opposite way, when you got to about the 50-yard line and was going the opposite way, we would play football in that end zone. Yeah. And let me tell you, they never told us to leave, but when you guys would break free or somebody was coming back, we'd get out of the way instead of, remember they had a hill above the end zone, we'd sit on that hill and watch. But when you went the other way, we'd be right back down in that end zone. And not one time did they ever run us out of there. That was a Friday night. That was kind of, a 5, 6-year-old kid, that was a big
Friday nights were a big thing.
It was, like I said, you didn't have to worry about anybody robbing your house, because everybody was at the football field.
It's funny you say that, because I know that there's been a couple of football fields in Kentucky now that have put in new turf, but beside the turf, and I mean there is where the team stands on both sides, and then right beside that they'll have about a 30-yard just piece of turf, and that's all the kids. It's either there or it's behind the end zone or something, and it's just for the kids, because
that's what it should.
That's kind of it's kind of been lost, and whatnot. But that's a cool story, being able to go on the field and they're still playing down on the other end.
I know that in the documentary, Jennifer Rattler talks about being able to smell the popcorn, and I can remember that little concession stand over by the field house. Yeah. And you'd go over there and get your Coke, and it was, there wasn't no lids on it, there wasn't no bottles, a little wax cup with ice, and we'd drink our Cokes, and like I said, we'd cram them down. That was our football,
Oh, yeah.
So I got a question, something we always ask a lot of, anybody that's seen the show, we normally ask about shoes or something like that. But one of the questions that Adam and I always ask is there a superstition that you all had back in your playing days? Is it a certain pair of socks, or, never washed your socks, or whatever it was? Was there a superstition that you all had that year that you could not change?
Jim Malone never washed his socks. He dressed in the back with us, and I promise you, he hung those socks on a nail, and you could take them home straight up there and stand. Jim Malone.
Good stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Before the game, and before Mr. Who was it?
Petro. I mean, Red, you're talking about Red Petro?
Yeah, Red Petro. Before he took his seat, we would go out onto the field, and one of us would get a quarter and put it in the center of the field. And that was our tradition for the home games.
Huh, okay.
I don't know whatever happened to them, but
I didn't find them.
worked well for us.
I didn't find them after I broke in.
I remember before every game, we'd be running plays before the game, and Rusty Duff was right across from me. We'd always shake hands right before the game started. Never
Tournament
failed.
game too.
Good stuff. Well, guys, listen, we can go on, and we usually try to keep the thing to an hour, but I want to, first of all, I want to say to everybody out there, Rec Bowl is coming up in a couple of weeks. The Rec Bowl is it's on Saturday, the 22nd. Montgomery County plays Hazard. Like I said, they're going to come down in their Trojan outfits. How they're going to come in, I don't know.
I'm working on that.
But I would say this: be there and be there early, so you can, and they might not even have any of that on at the start. But they might do a special entrance. But come to the Rec Bowl, because I'm sure there's going to be a recognition during halftime. I would suspect, and you won't want to miss these guys, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, hopefully, at that game, and so come to the Rec Bowl. Let's make this Rec Bowl as big as possible, especially with them honoring the Trojans. It doesn't even matter what year, but it does have if you haven't seen it, look real close to the emblem on the helmets. I promise you, that'll be something that'll probably give you chills again, because the stickers and the emblems on the helmets are pretty special. Not just the Trojan, but look real close to them. So come out that night. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. I know it was, Jack, thanks for getting everybody here, as many as you could, and thanks for coming. We enjoyed all the stories, and really appreciate you all coming and kind of getting an understanding of what went on in 67, 68, and especially 69 when you won the state championship game. So thank you for coming. Jeff, thanks for co-hosting.
And I want to thank them all too, because, I can't tell you what I did last week, but I can tell you what I was doing on Montgomery Street every game, for them. Walking from the school, you could hear them coming down the street, and then when the band would fire up, it's just something you'll never forget. And the band is going to be playing the fight song. I've already got that going with them. But thank you guys for being heroes, and it's just something I'll never forget.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. We will see everyone tomorrow, 6 o'clock. We're going to have the Montgomery County girls golf team on. They just got finished with their tournament here in town, and from everything I saw, they played really well. So we're going to have Coach Spoonamore and some golfers on. So that'll be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and we will be here. And again, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
The From Corner to Corner podcast wants to send a huge thank you to all our amazing sponsors who help keep this show rolling each week. Your support lets us keep covering local sports, sharing stories, and building community together. We truly couldn't do it without you. Thank you for believing in us, and let's keep making an impact together.
The Moco Four Horsemen would like to thank you for listening to From Corner to Corner. Be sure to go out and follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on, be sure to go out and give us a 5-star review. Thanks as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.